So, hello everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Walter of Verbal Herb. And as the money talks, he now has his YouTube channel and podcast up and running. So, I will put the information in the comment section so you all can go follow Walter there. So on the Demetra K Show, we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are a great people, but we can always strive to do better. Again, I'd like to say a big giant thank you to Walter, our resident financial expert. He has been in the industry for about 30 years. He's helped everybody from everyday people to celebrities and everybody in between to learn how to make, or I should say earn, because as they say, you can't make money, but you can earn it. The money is made in the mint. Um, but to earn and to save money and invest it in all that so we can have a better life financially. Also like to say a big giant thank you to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, the other side of the conversation. You all are not just viewers, you are participants, because you are the third co-host, and we read your comments, questions, and concerns because we feel like you should be heard as well. So we're going to continue talking about that of Coach Sanders. Deion Sanders, of course, you guys know, maybe, I don't know, by now, that he was at Jackson State University, but he was hired or acquired, left Jackson State University for Colorado University. Of course, there's a lot of backlash. There's still backlash coming from that. So we're going to talk about that. Of course, we're going to talk to Walter about, the financial aspects of it. And of course, if you all have any questions, comments, or concerns about finances or anything like that, please feel free to drop it in the chat, and I would love to read them, and then Walter will address them. So, Walter, how are you doing this fine evening? I know that you are still on, you're finishing your 21-day fast. What day are you on, and how's that going?
I'm on day 19. So on Saturday, my 21-day fast is up. So I feel good. Yeah, energy. I did 10 miles today. Today I just felt like running and getting back to, what I was doing. So I feel good. I'll probably crash a little bit later. I've been going to bed about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, like purposely laying down, shutting my eyes, which is new, but I could get used to it. But then I wake up at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. So easier to get more stuff done.
Absolutely. You could tell that you've lost quite a bit of weight. What are you, about 20 pounds by now?
No, I'm down from April when I first started my weight loss, which was, just changing my diet. I went from 201 to 176, 171. So I lost 30 pounds on my own. And then doing the fasting right now, I'm 157.
Ooh. All right. Well, got 3 more days left, and you've completed your 21-day fast. All right, y'all. So everything, Erica, how are you doing? So I'm going to get into it. So, of course, you guys know, as I said, Deion Sanders has left Jackson State University, which is an HBCU, to go to PWI, a private white institution of that of Colorado University. So, of course, a lot of people are still kind of feeling slighted, if you will, by that of Deion Sanders for leaving the campus, Jackson State University. Of course, there was a lot of things going on there at Jackson State University. For one, Deion Sanders was only making about $1.2 million over a 4-year time span to work there at Jackson State University as their head coach. A lot of the salary he was donating to help, Walter, can you mute your mic? A lot of the salary he was donating back to help pay the salary of some of his staff and to help get some of the facilities up and running. With his influence, he was actually able to get Walmart to help, build them another field and stadium because it was totally dilapidated. They couldn't even practice there. They had to go to a local high school to practice. Of course, I think they said Pepsi even donated by helping create or refurbish their locker room. And so a lot of things he actually had to do. There was even one instance where he had to take a bath in the team pool, I guess, or the school pool, because you guys know there in Jackson, Mississippi, the water situation was not good a couple of months ago, and it's still kind of trying to get there. So he ended up having to take a bath in the pool. He had his office broken into while they were on the field playing a game. Son's car was broken in. A lot of crime. I think recently they found a body on the campus. So just really a lot of things. So he left because Colorado University offered him They said in total, it'll be almost $30 million over 5 years for him to go coach their team. Because I think right now they're 1-11. So they obviously are looking for a turnaround, which at Jackson State University, he helped them to win again over the 3 years time span at Jackson State University. Deion Sanders was able to give them, or help them get rather, a 27-5 record over 3 years. So in the last 2 years, it's been there for 3 years, they were undefeated. So that's just want to give you some background. So of course, as I said, there's a lot of people are still upset about that. So I'm going to show y'all a video. It's going to be 2 videos. One video is of a student. I'm looking forward to saying as a student, defacing, they're calling it a mural, although it kind of looks like something on a window on the campus is what they're saying. How true it is, I don't know. I just want to put that out there. But I'm going to show y'all the video. So here it goes. Not that long.
We got permission. I got permission to do this shit. You fuck ass nigga. Fuck you. Yo damn, how many children go with you? Fuck Colorado nigga. Fuck all this shit. You gotta go. Everybody got the time. Deion, it's your time. Well. He's on.
So it appears that from what I read, it's a student was doing that, and he was saying that he had permission, although it doesn't sound like he did. Then you heard people in the background saying, F Deion, and he went to Colorado University and all of that. So again, they're not too happy there. And then a sports, I guess, personality, I'm saying it's wrong, sports anchor from ESPN, he went on to CNN and he gave this opinion about Deion Sanders. So check this out.
Whatever job he wants, but when you come into the first job and sell the idea that you are going to be the savior of HBCUs and you are going to raise the playing field, not just for Jackson State, but for everybody else, and you're going to do it because God told you to do it.
He said that.
Yeah, he said that. He explicitly said that God sent him to do this. So then when you leave, yeah, people are going to ask questions about what exactly it was. Now, I don't go into the sellout place necessarily, but I do think, he's the monorail salesman from The Simpsons. He went in, he sold the big dream. Now, if you paid any attention, you knew the dream he was selling wasn't possible. It was not an achievable one that he had, but he sold it and he got people to believe it, and then he chucked the deuce and left.
So then he kind of backed off of calling him a sellout, although it didn't seem like he totally backed away from it. But the dream, I guess he was talking about is, I don't know, making HBCUs better, which he did, right? He actually would be coaching at HBCU, Jackson State University, got a lot of other athletes to pledge to say they were going to HBCUs. In fact, they drafted the #1 high school draft pick, if that's a thing, to Jackson State. And forgive me, his name escapes me, but he was there. It's also said that Deion has taken about 10 people with him. So I don't know if that's all staff. Definitely his son, the quarterback of Jackson State University, is going. Doesn't sound like his other son is going yet. Don't quote me on that for whatever reason, but then maybe he is. So there's a lot going on. Let's see who's on here before I get your opinion of all of that, Walter. All right, so Darshawn, how you doing? And Kevin, what's going on with you? Says, well, the property was already defaced. The student sound like he was cleaning it up. Okay. And so, Carl, how are you doing? You say, great move. Darshawn, he says, Deion Sanders, Jackson State for 3 years, and he invested in the Walmart with the HBCU. Hey, Jan Michael, how you doing? And King of Sorrows, what's going on with you? Says he deserves better. And Darshawn says, I'm proud of Deion Sanders, and I hope he does do big things. At I think he made the University of Colorado. And Fred, how you doing? He says folks need to get out of their feelings and wake up and be real. And Kevin, you say he was undefeated in the conference that don't even play for a national title. Okay. King of Sorrows says I'm sure he didn't attend JSU. So you're saying the guy that was doing that to the window there. Darshawn says Terrell Owens should be the next head coach at Jackson State. And Fred says Deion is one of the greatest football players that has ever lived. If you thought he was going to be at Jackson for 10 years, you are fooling yourself. Kevin says Deion played the race card and he put himself in all HBC and HBCU football. JD informing how you doing. And Patty Brown was going on with you. Kevin said he is a sellout. Deion is the Idi Amin of HBCU football. And Monet, how you doing? And Gasper, what's going on? He says, wow, she ignorant and they need to make Big Shirley repainted. So I think that was a guy. It looked like it was a guy maybe that was doing that. I'm not for sure. And Gerard, how you doing? He says he overhyped his promise. So people feel he left the job incomplete. I think he promised the impossible if our own Black student athletes don't treat HBCUs as the best option for them. And JD Informer says, hopefully Van Jones will come out and apologize for Sanders. That is funny. And Jedi Skywalker, how are you doing? You saying a whole bunch of stuff, but you said, yep, facts, proof, evidence, truth is God said, Torah, guide all nations, serve, bless Black Israel first, and God will bless all creation, not be victim of self-destruction. God is watching. Yes, indeed. Hello, Tisha. How are you? James, what's going on with you? And Damon, how you doing? Says positive vibes to all in the chat. Stop the hate, Black first family. And lastly, Fred says, Bishop Jakes was Deion's mentor, so folks are commenting about the way he speaks as it applies to God. Well, he says these things because he believes it, and we also are people's lives in people's lives for a season. Got you. All right, Walter. So what was your commentary on what you saw and everything that's going on with Deion?
You can see it in my face, can't you? I mean, I don't know. Sometimes God makes changes, makes plans, makes changes, and God wants you to do better. It's funny how we sit up in church and pray for a financial miracle, pass the bucket 20 times. Then one of these Negroes, so-called Negroes, finally get up and does better, we pull his ass back down. One thing about Black people is we struggle with doing better. This has been the most disgusting, and it's been a long stream of shit. Like, it's like the minute Deion, I realized that he was moving on, I just said, oh, ain't going to be white people hating on him. It's going to be us hating on this dude. First of all, who in the hell is Jackson State? I didn't know they existed until 2 weeks ago, as did not most of the world. No one knows who Jackson State is. The fact that they are even in the news is history. So instead of Black people saying, okay, great, one of our schools is in the news, we're going to add on to this. Somebody's going to take Deion's spot. Deion created a roadmap. He took I don't care who he's playing. His son is the #1 quarterback in the country next year going to the NFL. He could leave right now and go to the NFL. That's Deion's son, right? So it ain't like people say he wasn't really playing. His son's #1 in the country, period. So the dude went there, took a school none of us heard of, and he improved it. So instead of bitching about it, they should improve on it. All the other HBCUs, here's the problem with HBCUs, ain't no fucking money in the system. You got whatever you're talking about, people dead, laying around, like people defacing this dude. Like Jackson, that school could go get scholarships now. They could do programs. The NIL program is now aware of this school. And what are they doing with their moment? Pouring it in the trash. And miss me with the God stuff. I mean, like, it's funny. Something bad will happen to somebody. And they will say, oh, it's God's will. But then something good happens to you. You're like, oh, it's God's will. So is it God's will to do bad or good? The point I'm making is somebody say it's God's will. That's just their interpretation of the universe. That's all. I mean, like, people, if most of us believed in God, this world wouldn't be the way it is. I can go to some of y'all Twitters or something, maybe not ours, hopefully not us, some Twitter pages and Instagram pages, and then I can match your belief in God. So, and TD Jakes is a businessman. You ain't putting on one of his suits for $58, $99, $200. I promise you. So, and I think that's one thing we get away from. Is at the end of the day, it's the business. In order for Deion to work at Jackson State, he has to give up $150,000 of his salary, pitch into the community, fix it up, invest in the community just to work this. So imagine taking your Black ass, assuming most of us are Black on here, and you went to a job, but you had to pay to work there. Like, in no way in hell would you accept that. But here, and Deion is rich, and there's nothing wrong with him getting richer. He did his job. He's on a 3-year contract, from what I understand, and he's out. Period. That's it.
Well, it was a 4 year, so he had 1 year left to go. It sounds like he'll have to pay back like $300,000 for the year that he didn't do. But
they're giving him that in 1 week at this. Not even 1 week. How long was football? 16 seasons, 16 weeks, maybe 17, 18. I don't know. What's 5 million divided by 16? Like seriously, it don't even matter. The numbers too big. First of all, I didn't even know Deion Sanders was coaching, and no one did. No one knew he was at that school. The only reason they knew is because when he went to leave, period. And here's the other thing. He's going to Colorado, where they suck. They were 1-11. And he walked in there like, hey, you know what? Most of y'all got to go. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I don't think Deion did anything wrong. I think we as Black people can learn from that. If you get a chance to go from 300,000 to 5 million, leave. I wouldn't even left a note. It'd have been like, hey, I'm working here for free and now I'm getting 5 million. And I can take my boys and give them national recognition, and you guys get national recognition too. I'm out. That's it, period. So that's my comment.
Is that your doorbell?
I don't know. My assistant ordered food. Let's keep it moving.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you need to go get it. Yeah. So yeah, and that's kind of the other argument too. And I see people kind of have some mixed reaction here. Sunlight says, I don't know. Watch football. I think about I don't watch football, and I knew he was at that school. Most people knew that. Yeah. I guess I heard about it when he went, because it was a big deal that he was actually going to HBCU. And then around that time, I knew about it because I kind of covered some stories and was looking into it, where students were entertaining going to HBCUs instead of the private white institutions. And so I had, heard about it myself. And Kevin said, Black people do have integrity. Deion chose 30 million, which is cool, but don't hijack the movement. So if you don't mind me asking, Kevin, how did he hijack the movement? Because I've kind of heard somebody else say that, but I don't know exactly what that means. So what does it mean when you say he hijacked the movement? And content creator, how you doing? You say pizza time. Yeah, not for Walter. He's still fasting until Saturday. He's on day 18 of his no food fast at all. So
yeah,
this
is day 20, but I mean, it don't matter. 18, 20.
Day 20. You said 18. You said a couple of minutes ago. You getting woozy on us?
Well, I haven't eaten in 18, 20 days, so who knows what I'm saying.
Right. So whatever he says, if it sounds kind of crazy, it's because he ain't ate, okay? And Darshan says, invest in communities, that is power, and that is revelation for our children, babies, poor state all around, okay? And Tisha, you say, what happened to creating generational wealth? Isn't that part of it? Yeah, I would think so, especially somebody, or anybody. But Deion, I mean, I'm sure he's interested in creating generational wealth, and you do that by getting more money, right? And Fred says, preach, brother, preach. And Don, how are you? Kevin says, because he played the race card compatible. You says HBCU to private white institutions. Is that what it says? He played the race card. So what you mean before he got there, or while he was at before he got to the HBCUs? I don't know. Help me out, because I don't know. So if you can help me out. And let's see. And Darshani says, I agree, Walter. And RJ, how you doing? He says, grow up, people. All right. Monet says, it takes lots of willpower to go on a long fast. Keep it up, Walter. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, okay. So you're saying, Kevin, because he played the race card and compared HBCUs to the private white institutions. So you're saying he did that when he first got there? He did that to Jackson State? And Sandra, how you doing? He says, people he was offered a better opportunity at Colorado University, let him go, and Jackson State University could continue where Deion left off. I totally agree. I mean, he left them way better off than when he got there, right? I mean, it was horrible. It was like bad there when he got there. So I don't know. Ali, how are you doing? Well, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. And Buck Wild, how you doing? He says he realized HBCUs aren't really foundational Black American anyway. Okay, yeah, I think out of 107 of them, I think only one of them is truly Black owned. And the name of it escapes my mind. Winston Forest or something like that. I think it's in Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. And a lot of them were, started by white people and things like that. So that is true. And Damon, I don't know. And Gerald, he says, Deion always seemed like a selfish person to me, so I don't know why our people felt he was doing something for the community at large. If I'm not mistaken, isn't he a philanthropist? Is that he gives back, from what I understand? Don't quote me, but I thought that's was his thing. He did a lot of mentoring, young men and things like that. So I know he's very flashy type of thing, but he doesn't give off the selfish vibe like he doesn't help his people. But don't quote me. And Damon, you said, what was JSU doing before Deion? He brought more attention in 3 years. Black first stop, waiting for the handouts. Yes, and Kevin says he compared HBCUs to white institutions. Yep, okay. And Victor, he says, are you serious? Selfish? What selfish person, take money out of his own pocket to pay for kids in college? Like, that's exhibit number 1, right? Jan Michael says, exactly. Fred says, hi, Jack. What? Please explain. He needs to go broke for the moment. Yeah, I'm trying to understand that one as well. Ollie says, I will finish my fast tomorrow. Yes, that's right. You are fasting as well. And how are you? Day 22. Wow. That is amazing. I'm going to try to go 22 hours one day. I'm just kidding. Ruben, how you doing? It says Deion Sanders is a pro and coaching is business. Coach Sanders coached 3 years at JSU, and then the University of Colorado hired Deion and brought out his team contract from JSU. And it sounds like Colorado State University says, listen, we don't have all the money yet, but we are going to raise it via our alumni. And so I was having a conversation with somebody about that, and they were like, well, why did he go and they don't have all of the money yet? I said, because they're going to get it from the alumni. I said, now this is the thing. Colorado University, I'm sure their alumni has some money. And that I said, they probably won't even take them long to raise the rest of the money they need to get him. They'll send, because I'm an alumni of a university. They'll send out an email or 2 or 10 or 20 saying, hey, we got Coach Deion Sanders. We need all of y'all to chip in so we can keep them here. I guarantee you probably in a week, they're going to have all the money they need because their alumni is, probably going to chip in. Now, I should say, from what I understand, at Jackson State University, there's like, and I learned this from you guys on Sunday. Jackson State University has 50,000 alumni, and they only raised $90,000 to help Coach Sanders with the football team. So they said it averages about $1.80 per alumni. So that's at Jackson State University. And I'm not saying everybody who's graduated from college got money, but I guarantee you, Colorado University, they gonna get that money. They're gonna get that money to keep him there. And that's kind of what Jackson State should have done, I would imagine. And Kevin says, even if it's not black owned, it's a majority black. Yeah, black people go there for now, but everybody else is starting to go. Sir Miguel, how you doing? It says HBCUs are underfunded. Yes, badly. Kevin says LeBron paid for 1,000 kids to go to college. Yes, and no cap, Bojack. I'm sorry. How you doing? It says tier. And Brother Reggie, how you doing? Deshaun says Chris Paul has donated $85,000 to the HBCU. So is that Jackson State University? You also say LeBron donated 1,000 to HBCU and Akron, Ohio. Is it 1,000 or is it a little bit more? And then Ruben says Deion Sanders' goal was to coach at Power 5 conference school, and Deion Sanders fulfilled his objectives. That I had heard as well. So Walter, what say you?
Man, there's a lot. Deion Sanders has always been, in the news, popular guy. And I don't really understand the race card thing because he's getting the attention because he's Deion Sanders, not because he's black. He's neon Deion Sanders, one of the best to step on the field, period. And you guys keep this in mind too. And black people, we ought to be ashamed of ourselves in 2022 to keep needing handouts, period. This dude brought American Airlines to the school and got them flights to travel. Got them suits, companies, Michael Strahan, to donate suits to these dudes so they all show up looking like they are in unison. And on and on and on. He went to all these companies and got them to donate to this opportunity. Man, these kids, if you play for Jackson State University right now, if you are not blowing up your social media, if you're not putting yourself like, he left me, but we had Deion for 3 years. He put together a program and now we're doing better. And we want to shine on that. So Deion I tell you, man, first of all, I didn't even know Deion was even coaching, and I didn't know Jackson State University existed up until 2 weeks ago. And I think most people that are about their shit, that have other stuff, real shit to do, didn't know either. Because there's too much going on in the world to keep digging down in this crab in the barrel with black people. My God, every week it's a black story in the news about some bullshit about how we can't have more, we can't do this. I'm like, my God, is it okay for black people to do better? Otherwise, what's the point of like the dude, like some of y'all, like we need to shut the hell up. That's all there is to it. We need to shut the F up. You taking home 150 and somebody offer you $5 million? Ain't a person on this podcast, ain't a person running their mouth out on the world that would turn down that kind of money to get 20, 30, 40, 50 times the salary they're making for doing the same job and in an easier environment. That's the other thing. He's not needing security to go back. He's not walking over dead bodies. He ain't dealing with all that crap he was dealing with. And he went into Colorado, and this is what I like about Deion. He said, I'm coming in here with luggage, and there's Louis. There's your new quarterback. I got a bunch of guys. We all come to play. I'm bringing my own coaches. Everybody, we getting down. He says, no more hoodies, no more hats, no more earrings. We are men, and we're coming in here and acting like it. That's what I don't hear anybody talking about. And you know who's not bitching about Deion? It's Colorado. And I guarantee you, he's cutting those kids. A bunch of those kids are losing their position. He said, here's your chance. Jump in the portal. That's code for jump in the portal so you can be traded. So, and they don't have to, the money's there. This is all it is to it. They can go to JP Morgan and get that money. So you got Deion Sanders and the number one quarterback in the country playing for your school. How long do you think it would take him to get $25 million over 5 years? Do you know the money they're going to make in the stands? The beer, popcorn, food alone is going to pay Deion Sanders. You ever been to a stadium and see how much beer they sell? Oh, whew, I cannot. Man, that is where the money is. Alcohol in the stadium. Plus now the TV coverage, because you know why? Every single game they play, they're going to be waiting. Are they going to be 1-0, 2-0? That's what's going to be going on with Deion. So he is bringing, and you know who's going to benefit from this the most? Colorado, because they're going to take it in stride. They said, we don't have the money, but we're going to get it. They're willing to do everything to get this thing going. This cat, the school he left, they're spray painting him, defacing his picture. Come on, y'all. If Deion Sanders would have never went to that school, where would they be? And black people, why are our schools so jacked up? Like we have 50,000 alumni, and each one of them giving $1. Come on now, that's not cool. You know, I'm not saying you have to give out all your money, but damn, your kid goes to a school. It's okay to leave it better than when he or she went, right? And he didn't betray the kids, because those kids have now national recognition and global recognition for some of them. But instead of taking their global recognition and saying, oh yeah, I was on Jackson State, I was a linebacker, I played for Deion. Black people do what they do is they build this fire of negativity. And so instead of the kids shining and saying, oh yeah, thank God, Deion, thank you for coming here and giving us notice, we're going to shit on them. It's just like we did to Kanye, Kyrie, and what we're going to do to every black man that raises up in the black community and says, I have my own voice, I can think for myself, and I'm here to do better, and I'm here to take care of MBA, my black ass, period. I am first and foremost. I care about me more than anybody. Then there's my kids and my woman, and I don't know which order that's in, but the goal is thou that gives a shirt off his back shall be naked. So Deion people should be praising this dude. I mean, like, I don't know. If my son went to Jackson State and Deion left, I'd be like, yo, thanks. You put us on the map. Nobody knew who the hell we were. I didn't even know they had a school.
Absolutely. And so something like you say, Jackson State messed up. However, prominent people don't come from Jackson State. There's some people, I can't think of their names, but while I was looking at this, I saw a couple of people who actually did come from Jackson State University. Just don't quote me right now. I can't remember. I think remember who it was, but Jackson State. It has a lot of issues. A lot of issues. I mean, the city itself, right?
We're talking about Mississippi, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, which, if what I understand, is Mississippi is the poorest state in the nation. So, Counterproof, how are you doing? Says, truth be told, I saw all of those white players who played for Colorado, and I knew immediately Deion would have to get rid of most of them to compete for a national title. So you're saying he's going to get rid of a lot of the white players and bring in some black players? Is that what you're saying? And Darshawn says, Deion Sanders made them young men as a professional football, and I'm surprised father to at Jackson State. Yeah, so he did play a father figure to a lot of them. And I love that about him as well when he was coaching. He was like, I'm not just going to show y'all how to play football and play it well. I want to show y'all how to be professional. And he said that even when he went to Colorado, that I'm going to also be coaching you on how to be professionals and act like you got some sense and look like you got some sense, right? So can't really be mad at that. But it's like, the fact that Deion left, does that stop? Whoever comes in to coach them next, does all that just stop? Do they start over, or do they continue to build on that? Right? I mean, I don't know. I just would think that they would continue to build. And let's see here. And Quinn E, how are you? Says, so true. It's sad, and we always talk about the way men look. What are we doing to this man? Yes, and Tisha, you say, my daughter wanted to go to NCA at T. NT, he says, but they didn't want to show us all of the facility, like the dorms, food areas. We toured and they showed us the library, and the rest of the tour was off the grounds. I was like, well, yeah, my kid is going to be going here. I want to see what she going to be doing up in here. So, yeah, that would kind of be, make me kind of suspicious there. And Kevin says, I meant white institutions. Okay. And James, you say, salute Deion. You did what any of us would do if a better opportunity came our way. Stop the hate. He did his job. He did a damn good job at that. Yes, he did. And Damon says JSU offer was around 1.5 million. Was that 1.5 million a year or 1.5 million in total? Because they had already offered him. Well, he already had like a $1.2 million contract. So was that additional every year? What was that about? And Ollie, you say they had an undefeated season. Yes, I think they had two, if I'm not mistaken, right? Brother Reggie, you say facts, Walter. And Darshawn says, I agree, Mr. Walter. And Damien says, at Jackson, Mississippi still dealing. I'm sorry, and Jackson, Mississippi still dealing with dirty water. Exactly. And, there's times where he had to move the team to hotels and, just different things just, because of the water situation. So, and Victor says some of these people on this chat complaining would have left for a $500 raise. You ain't lying. James says, didn't Jerry Rice go to JSU? I think I might have heard his name. There's a couple other people as well. Teacher says, but the main stream of private white institutions showed us everything. One school even gave us our tour by golf cart. So you're saying when you went to the other schools, they were like, here, we're an open book, check it out. But the other ones was like, no, you can't go in that room. We don't go in there. Ali says, I went to South Carolina State he says the MEAC played against Jackson State University. Did y'all win? And Victor says some of these people in the chat. Okay, so I read that one. He says left for a $500 raise. Counterproof says those in the state white players aren't able to compete with the top-ranked black national high school players. Black players will go there with Deion. And from what I understand, they said, don't quote me, I could be wrong on this number, but then they said like 2,000 students, or maybe, I don't know, a lot less, got in the portal after Deion left. If I'm not mistaken, somebody tell me if I'm wrong. And Damon, you say Walter Payton went to Jackson State. I did hear his name, Jackson State University. And Eric says Deion Sanders used to mow the freaking grass at JSU. Where they do that at? Your head coach has to mow the grass. Yeah, he bought a lawnmower and he personally was riding around on it mowing the grass because he was saying, I can't wait for them to decide to mow the grass. He says, if I see something that needs to be done, I'm gonna do it. I don't have time to wait because they need to play on the field. But yeah, he was mowing the grass. So it's like, come on now. The man was giving half of his salary up, having to take a bath in the pool, dealing with break-ins and crime and all this other stuff, and mowing the grass and coaching them. to, you know, a stellar seasons. It's like, come on. I think they really should have been thanking him. And Closed Mouth TV, how you doing? Said he's taken all of his 4-stars and 5-star players. It's definitely going to be a complete rebuild. Yeah, but you know, let me ask y'all this: do y'all think it's fair that he takes them, being that a lot of them probably went to Jackson State University because he was there? Do you think it's fair that he at least take them and not just leave them and say, "Well, see you later," you know? Because it sounds like they have a promising career. I don't know. You think so, Walter?
Yeah, no, 100%. He should have taken the players with him, because that's a lot of the students were there because he was there. And you lost me with mowing the grass. That's where I check out. Come on, y'all. Y'all got this dude mowing the grass like Forrest Gump. That's how lazy the black community has become. Like, you have your head coach from the Dallas Cowboys mowing the damn grass. We could have started with that and ended with that. See, that's what those announcers, those jigaboos that are paid to come out and destroy the black race. You don't get on national TV and talk about this dude that's out there mowing the grass. Like, when are y'all going back to y'all schools? Stop giving these jigaboos all this power. They ain't doing shit. Getting up, running their mouth, doing what they bought, masters telling them to do. Go out there and keep shitting on your race. Go out there and join dumbass Shaq and Charles Barkley and shit on your race. You go, y'all and Oprah and all y'all go get a cabin together and Gayle King and come up with how to destroy the black race. And y'all come back to us and report. It's like I was watching Phil Knight talk about Kyrie, like, well, he was out of line. Shut your old ass up. I'll never buy another pair of Nikes or another pair of Nazi Adidas shoes again. And none of y'all should be buying Nikes, Adidas. I got on some Nikes right now. I found them in my closet. I started to throw them in the trash, but I'm using them to clean my backyard, and I'm going to throw them in the bucket. Like, we got to have some power. Like, but we ain't going to never get it. Every time a brother get real power, y'all shit on him. What we ought to be doing is trying to get, okay, how can we duplicate that? How can we go out and get, okay, how can we get maybe Jerry Rice or somebody to come coach? You know, how can we get all these other dudes out there that played in the NFL? How can we get them to coach? Right? I can tell you why they don't. Because they don't want to go back and deal with the crap. Ice Cube said it the best. You invite ants to, moving back to the hood is like inviting ants to a picnic. And it's too bad. It's like my boy Nipsey Hussle, one of the nicest dudes I ever met. Cool as shit. In the community, everybody's like, dude, you got to roll out, move. You got to get out of the hood, dude. I know what you're trying to do, but you ain't going to live here. But boom, I think he was dead. After I saw him, he was dead a month later. Insane. So can you blame some of these dudes? I mean, I don't care how much money Deion got. $5 million a year is a lot of money. That's $100,000 a week. Think about this. You go to work this week. You work all week, you bust your ass, and you come home and you make with the average person, not even average person, what we consider a high earner makes in 1 week. Come on now. You tell me you wouldn't take that job? They had me cutting the grass. I'd have left that day. I'd have left the lawnmower running. Period.
Yeah, I mean, and even, you know, the water situation, I would imagine, is not the school's fault, but just the fact that, like, now I got to take a bath in the pool, you know, and God knows how long it's actually been since he had taken a bath before he jumped in the pool with the soap and the, you know, and the rag. So yeah, I think it's just a lot really to ask for anybody. And I don't know, it doesn't sound like they were willing to really do much to keep him there. You know, I like I said, I think it's about foreseeability. You know, you got a coach that's there and he's doing the damn thing. He's bringing. I think they say, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong on this too, that about $30 million came to the economy of Jackson due to Deion being there, if I'm not mistaken. So I was like, yeah, so he had all that going on, and you didn't try to have conversations about what you need to do in case this moment comes that they might try to buy him out. You know what I mean? So
no, because they were taking handouts. They were taking handouts instead of saying, oh, American Airlines is paying for all of our flights. Why don't we start flying with American Airlines? You know what I'm saying? See if we can get us a credit card and start building our credit with or something. They're plane tickets are not cheap. You're talking about a bunch of kids, which means they had to take the whole plane, pretty much, right? You fly your team, like that's most of the plane. You know how much it costs to put a jumbo jet 747 in the air? Come on, y'all. Some of y'all, like, we bitch about gas in our car. Can you imagine putting gas in an airplane? Come on, that's 416 a week, man. It would have been like, we're gonna pay you $5. It would be like, click. Hold on, Jackson. Shit, for that kind of money, I'd have put my grandma on hold. Shit, I'd have cut her a check. She'd have been happy. Boy, you better hang up. Man, so yeah. What else is going on? What can we talk about? Common sense?
Thunder, you say, I don't understand people. Why must black, I think, people be synonymous with struggling? Yeah, that is something we kind of marry together, right? Struggle and being black. Black struggles. Like, well, we need to change that ideology. And let's see here. Marlena, how you doing? And Connie, how you doing? And Fred, you say they got Deion mowing grass. Are you kidding? I don't even mow my own grass, and I don't even have near the paper Deion has. And yes, white man mows my grass. I have a brother mowing mine, I must say. Terrence, he is great at it as well. And Patrick, how you doing? He says, I think Prime did JSU wrong. Okay, well, do tell. And Kevin says, so we know more about Jackson State University than Jerry Jones and Deion work for Jones. So you're talking about Jones as far as the picture that came out with him being in, was it Arkansas? Was it? I think it was Arkansas. So is that what you're talking about? And Alexis Driver First Class 1, I think that is. How are you? He says, yes, that is correct, ma'am. And it's personal. He says, the new coach for LSU left Notre Dame and is getting $95 million on a 10-year contract. Woo! And Victory says, no other high-profile coach will take this job after seeing how y'all did Deion. And are you serious? And yes, I think it was you, Connie, or Marlena. One of y'all said that not everybody feels like that in Jackson, Mississippi. A lot of people are grateful and thankful for what he did there. So we do want to say it's not everybody there that is, kind of being awful toward him. And Damon says it was noted that in the contract, Colorado gave JSU $1 million a year. And I'm sorry, I might have read that kind of jacked up. And Marlena, he says, I live in the state of Mississippi, and this state is not as poor as everyone thinks. The money is not being handled right, I believe. And that's probably true. And that's also the case with a lot of HBCUs. We've heard in the past of a lot of misappropriating of the funds, right? People taking the money and doing other stuff with it. It's like, this school is struggling and you take it. You stealing the money? Okay. And Kevin says, we know Mississippi not poor. Michael Jordan loves to gamble in Biloxi. Oh, really? Brother Samuels, how are you? And Deshaun says, Shaq, Charles Barkley, and Stephen A. Smith. And Brother Jonell, how you doing? He says, if not about the math, then we truly about struggling. We must be about the math on all levels. Evening read means re-add, aka again, calculate, think, all praises due to Allah. Okay. And Sir Miguel, he says, every person has a right to do what is best for them or theirs. I agree. And Darshan says, power is community. Jay Bubble, he says, Cap, I'm from Mississippi too, and it is the poorest state in the union. That's why I left. That's what I heard, that, it was the poorest. And I've seen a lot of documentaries kind of saying that. Now, why it's poor, I guess that could be up for debate. Is it poor because, people are mishandling funds, or they just don't have any money? Like, what's going on? And Darshan says, Chad Johnson, Terrell Owens, Jerry Rice should be the head coach of Jackson State. And Emmett, how you doing? He says he took black students that were performing well and building the program to a predominantly white school to lift them up. Make it make sense. How does that build a movement and community? Just a minute ago, I think we all kind of agreed that it sounded like it was only fair that he took those students because they came to Jackson State on the premise that he would be there. And so it sounds like they have promising careers. They could. So I don't know. I think it kind of makes sense that he did take them. Now, they can also, as Darshan said, get other coaches and start where he left off and continue to build, right? I think that is possible. And Darshan says, Nipsey Hussle, rest his soul, businessman, Los Angeles, California. Yes, indeed. And Kevin says, Mississippi is in the Delta and founder of Down Home Blues. Summer Yell says, every person has a right to do what is best for them or their family. Okay. And Darshan says, I agree, Mr. Walter. And Stacy, how you doing? Thank you so much. Yeah, I do my hair like this now. Y'all know I took my crochets out. That's what it was. Because I work out a lot and I sweat a lot in my hair. And I have to do it over too often. And I was just like, let me just twist it up. And so I can really work out without having to worry about having wet hair all the time. So, but thank you. So, and let's see here. And what else do y'all want to talk about while we are here? Of course, this is the money show. So if y'all have any financial questions, of course, you guys know that California is talking about giving reparations to Californians, $223,000 a piece, as a matter of fact, amongst a whole host of other things. What else is going on in the news? It was something else. I can't remember what it is, but whatever y'all want to talk about and ask financial questions of Walter, that's what he is here for. And Queenie says, I'm sorry to say, but we have a generation of complainers. Can you imagine the people before them, what they had to go through, the struggles of taking care of their families? Yeah. And Marlena says, so you're replying to Jay Bubba. Hollywood, how you doing? Says, since everyone so concerned about JSU, send a check then. Since Coach Prime ain't swag, how about someone take on what Coach Prime did? But I'll wait. I totally agree with you because you know how we like to do. We like to bump our gums, but we don't like to write checks. You know what I mean? So I totally agree with you. And Jan Michael, you're agreeing with Walter. And Kevin says, Mississippi not poor. They filmed in the heat of the night there. Now, how long ago was that? Are we talking about in the heat of the night?
Like the brother that passed away.
Howard Rawlings, I think his name was, or something.
Oh,
not Howard Rawlings. I forget.
99.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. From what I imagine. Even that series with what's his name, Carol O'Connor and the brother from a Soldier Story, the chocolate brother. Yeah, that was like what? Even that was in the 80s and the 90s. When
Oh, yeah,
not to laugh, but yeah. Let's see here. Tweezy Real One, how you doing? It says the HBCU president should have got together and capitalized on the momentum Deion started instead of sitting on their hands and letting Deion do everything. I totally agree. They just watched him do everything. And Rebel Rhines, how you doing? It says the revolution is past due. Yes, indeed. And Polaroid, how you doing? It says, Kevin, what does it have to do with the state not being poor? Laugh out loud. So you talk about in the heat of the night. And somebody says, Mississippi can be the founder of whatever. I worked there for years, and that's the poorest pink trash I've ever seen. Oh, Brother Samuel say, yes, there is neo mess going on, and a couple that with money missing from attendance. However, I'm also hearing the state owns the stadium and haven't wanted to build a stadium because that is possibly, according what I heard, benefited greatly from attendance. Okay, and Brother Samuel is in Mississippi. And Mark, how you doing? He says there are 1,000 HBCU football coaches and 60 years of football experience, and Coach Deion Sanders is the only coach to figure it out. Emmett, he says T. Martin would be a good choice for coach at JSU. Polaroid says just Googled it. That movie was released in 1967. So that's why I was like, I know the movie was old, but then I know the series was like 20 years or so after that. So it's cute though. It is cute. Only Pamela's Way says, I want to talk about the insane amount of money they're giving Ukraine again, $53 billion. We can, but the other thing is, what are we going to do about it? You know, we're going to go to Joe Biden's steps of the White House and say, listen, we want you to stop doing that. And like, I mean, we could talk about it, I want to, but what can we do about it? And Kevin says, Mississippi has casinos everywhere. Now, you know, where it's casinos, that's what people, you know, most likely giving all their money to, right? And Emma says, also filmed in my hometown, Hammond, Louisiana. Mark says, me and my organization is organizing our first African descendants of enslaved people economic summit. Okay, when and where? Sunlight says, casinos everywhere and broke as hell. That's usually how it is. I've been in casinos before, and I don't gamble, but I've been there with other people, and I could just tell the look on some of them people's faces. They look like they're in distress. They look like they've been there for like 24, 48 hours straight trying to beat the house. They just look just like frazzled, right? And I'm like, you don't seem like you're having a good time. Like, why you keep coming here? You know what I mean? So yeah, usually because they're broke and they know they got to figure out how they're gonna pay their rent because they done gambled it, right? Brother Sammy says being swag for some sounds like the hustle line brothers used to hold another one down by trying to make them feel bad for elevating. And of course, that is a Western Athletic Conference that is prevalent to HBCU football teams and some other types of sports. And so I guess they're saying that Deion wasn't swag, like he wasn't down with the HBCUs, you know, in the South and all of that, because I guess he came and left. King of Sorrows, he says In the Heat of the Night was filmed in Georgia, so it's all over the place. And Kevin says HBCUs will not be playing for a national title. And Amos says, I am single parent of 3-year-olds. Tell me more about 529 plans, please. Walter?
So 529 plans work like this, and they're actually not bad. They're long term, so every dollar you put in there, the money goes in there, and then it grows tax free. Now, and then that money. So let's say you put in, I don't know, $20,000 over a 10-year period or 15-year period. That money grows and is 100% tax free if you use it for a qualifying purpose, which is education. And then if that kid does not use it, it can then go to a relative sibling. There's some rules to it, but it's basically like a Roth IRA for college. So you put money in it, it grows tax deferred, tax free. So those 529s, like Roth IRAs, they grow tax free. Those are the good investments to have, the stocks or the assets that move and have a lot of tax consequences. You know, the riskier ones, because if you have money in a 529 and it's earning 3% and it's not kicking out tax anyways, you're pretty much wasting your time. And if you don't use the 529 the right way, they will penalize you tax and 10% on top of it. So those 529s work. You just have to stuff them with money continually, and you need to put investments in them that are high risk, because you know your kid has time. So you want stuff that turns over, like where mutual fund managers, where they buy stocks and they sell the winners, and they constantly are turning over their their stocks, which would trigger a tax gain. But inside of a 529, there would be no taxes. So the 529 works well for that if you know your kid is going to college or some relative or someone close to him.
Cool. So, and Brother Sammy says Deion actually trained the replacement in his winning philosophy and allowed him to do the coaching and talking to recruits. So, okay, so he didn't just say, I'm out of here, right? He actually left the blueprint. So that's good. And if you guys have any more financial questions, keep it coming, or anything else you want to talk about, we're more than happy to do that. And Mark, he says Coach Sanders, JSU brought in $35 million, and they could have gave Coach Prime and his assistant football coaches 10%, $3.5 million to keep Coach Sanders at JSU. Exactly, but they didn't.
Hold on, they brought in how much money to the school?
$35 million, probably like in revenue and things like that. Because I'll tell you, as I said on Sunday, JSU was playing TSU here in Houston, and I looked at tickets. Originally, there was like 50, maybe $60. Then they went up to like $350, $400 for tickets. I was like, yeah, I'm good. So yeah, they could have done that.
The same people complaining about him leaving or raping the people. 350.
35 million.
Mm-hmm. 35 million. I'm saying, but 350 for a ticket. Come on. There's some NFL games that don't cost $350. But that's exploitation. That got nothing to do with the white man. That was the school raising those tickets. Them all getting together and doing that. So it's funny. Some people talk about us being damaged, but they're the main one doing it. $350 for a ticket? Come on now. How many black people were at that game? But it's what we keep doing to ourselves.
Yes, indeed. All right. And so, and who else came on? King Ward 2010. How are you doing? And Queenie says, sis, is this the best time to buy a home in Houston, Texas, or in the summer of 2023?
I would never buy a house, period, unless I have my investment property first. It's never a time to buy a house unless you own investment property first, period, because the interest rates are high. I mean, if I was going to make that kind of mistake and buy a house first, I would, let's say I found a house that was $250, I would offer them 200, offer them 175. You got to go low because the interest rates are so high. What you do is you buy a house, get in at a good deal, and then when the interest rates come down, you haven't eaten yet. When the interest rates come down, then you're in a lower price house and you have a lower interest rate. That's what a lot of people are doing if they're going to do that. But I'm telling you, well, I mean, if you're not interested in building wealth, then go out and buy a house. Because what most people do is they buy a house, they put everything into it, and it's like, oh Lord, oh help me Jesus, I ain't put all my money into the house, can't do nothing. Versus if I'm going to buy a house and put money and a bunch of stuff into it, I'm going to buy something that's going to pay me an income stream. So you can buy, you buy a house for 200 grand, you put 3% down, that's $6,000. You can build your credit, pull it off a credit card, put down, boom, you got the house, fix it up, Airbnb it, pays for itself. You know what I'm saying? Or the best thing to do with real estate is to buy a commercial unit. Let's say you were going to buy and that's 5 and up. So let's say you were going to buy a 5-unit building. They'll let you use the rent take some of that rent for your income to put on your application to qualify for buying that building. It's like the old T. Boone Pickens, the leverage buyout. Remember when he bought Gulf Oil, right? He bought Gulf Oil, but he borrowed money against them and used their profits to pay the loan. That's some gangster stuff. DDD, Ireland, we coming. That's one of the places on my bucket list. Come out there, hang out. But it's the leprechauns, right? Actually,
I don't know if they really be having leprechauns up in Ireland like that. I don't know. We might want to ask and find out.
Yeah, no, the leprechaun. Actually, the leprechaun, I watched that special. He's a brother. Little short dude, little short brother. Leprechauno. So, crypto, get the hell out, stay out forever. Man, let me tell you. I got out of crypto when it was 70 grand. Remember when Shiba Inu and all that Dogecoin? Man, as soon as that stuff hit I was out like Deion Sanders. So no, here's the thing. First of all, you should not be investing in crypto unless you have a cash reserve. So when crypto's doing what it's doing, you have money to say, you know what, I can still survive. And I'm gonna say this. And I had this conversation with someone I consider a friend of mine. She wanted to put all her money in this cryptocurrency. Oh, we went to the church and met this guy, and he's so godly. And he said, I should take all the money that we found and all the money that you helped me get together. And my shit is on point now. Thank you. He says I should put it in this crypto fund. It won't lose money because it's not Bitcoin. It's the blockchain. And I'm like, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Boom. So they went by this swing low, sweet Jesus. Joe Biden says it's okay. Put it in crypto. Can't get 10 cents out of the money. And it's in the 5 digits. Can't even get the money out. The thing with crypto is you don't put money in it unless you have your cash reserve base. Crypto right now, last time I checked when my Bloomberg is off, 16,000. It was 70,000 last year. And it's going to get worse because what's happening, you guys, and this is how corporate America works. One guy files bankruptcy, another guy goes, and then they go, shit, let's all do it. Let's get it out of the way because this FTX dude is already taking the heat. Celsius went out and then, and so why don't we take the heat? We just all go and let him take the heat and we were done with this. Man, crypto could be $8,000 next month. I don't know crap about it, but I know it was from 70 to 16, right? I know people personally, friends of mine, family members of mine who are out over 10 grand in FTX. Can't get their money back. But if you own a piece of land, it's yours, period. I don't care. Ain't nothing like real estate or stock options, whatever. Stocks, own something like IBM. You can say, okay, IBM is a real company. Or Amazon is a real company. I'm trying to remember last time I went to a Walmart or I go into Target and I compare it against Amazon. I know it's cold. They see me walking in and walking out with nothing. I'll be, oh, what? It'll be here tomorrow? Yeah. So I know Amazon is trading at 90. I don't know. Amazon's getting killed, but I can promise you this. Amazon is not going to stay at $90. And when it goes back to 200, you know that it'll be a heyday, right? What about student What about the student debt Black people accrue from attending, I don't know, PWISs?
That's private white institutions. So like, white schools, Harvard,
Okay.
Stanford, or, stuff like that.
What I'm not going to do in this show is jump in the race shit bucket. I don't care if it's private Mexican university, private Black university, private Indian, Iraqi. The school system is all the same. It is shit, period. And honestly, you piss if you want to, they probably got a better chance. When Black people start caring about themselves the way we act like we do, our schools will be better. My son goes to Berkeley. He had a chance to go to all kinds of school. I was like, nope. We want to go to the school that's the most organized. I'm sending my daughter to UCLA. We want to go to schools that's organized. I don't care what color they are. And how are we talking about HBCUs when only one of them is owned by a Black dude? What benefit does that do to go to a Black school that's not even owned by a Black person? That's not contributing to the Black people. Because Black owned means you buy there, they make money, then they take money and give to the community to help the Black people keep it moving. That's not happening at those HBCUs. So why would I send my kid to an HBCU when it's not even Black owned? And the money's not coming to the community. You got the #1 coach on the circuit and you giving this Negro pennies. What are y'all doing with $35 million? So debt is debt. I don't believe in going into student loan debt. I think it's trash. I think you give a kid, and my kids are going to college only because they want to, and I tried to talk them out of it, but I'm like, you know what? Go ahead, do your thing. But we're gonna be running a business while you're there. I promise you. So I would rather give a kid, and see, you guys keep voting for these wackos where it's gonna never happen. Give them $10,000 a year. Okay, I'm gonna give you $30,000 a year to go to college. How about I give you $10,000 a year and you start a business every single year? And sooner or later, one of those businesses are gonna catch on. Worst came to worst, you have a boatload of experience that you can go out and actually get a job. Because if I have 2 kids, right? One kid says, oh, I went to college 4 years and I'm a bookworm. This dude says, I went to college, but I ran several businesses on the side and I know what I'm doing. I'm hiring that dude all day, right? IRAs, it depends on when you need the money. IRAs are like 529 plans. You put money in them and they sit there until you're 59 and a half minimum or 5 years of having the account. You put $1 in, it grows to 10 if you invest it right. And you pay tax on the 10 instead of the $1. So you have to go, do I want to pay tax now on this $1 and put it somewhere else? Or do I want to put tax in the IRA, have it grow to 10 and pay tax on $10 on the way out? So plus the IRA, you can't get to the money for, until you, like I said, 59 and a half. So you're the type of person that just wants to put money away and let it grow and let it sit forever and forget about it. The IRA's cool. You can pay the taxes later. You deal with it, but at least you got some money saved. That's kind of my thing on IRAs. I'm not a fan of IRAs, but if I was going to leave money and put it away forever, it would be better. You're better putting money in life insurance. I have my money, my IRA type money goes to AIG. Money goes there. It's tax-free. I get life insurance, living benefits. If I stroke out right here and lay on this floor, this wood floor, and I'm rolling around in a circle, my kids are getting money from AIG and income the hills. You know what I'm saying? So it's better to put your money in life insurance, stuff it with money, and then let it grow from there. Because then you can get to that money in 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, 8 years, whatever, versus waiting till you're 59 and a half. So they both work depending on your goals. Prominent white institutions, yeah.
All right. So we learning something new every day. Thank you for that, Brother Samuel. All right. And so let's see here. Kevin, you say the more NFL draft picks HBCUs have, the more they receive from their alumni. Okay. And DDD, I was drinking kombucha. That's what that is, a fermented drink. And you say, I'm a Black man. I graduated Cornell University in 2004. I practice law. Hard work pays off. Yes, it does. And Mark, you say Coach Prime definitely created economic opportunities for cities of Jackson, local Black businesses through contracts. Yeah, that he did do. And Miss Tatum, how are you doing? It says just had a meeting, Department of Labor. They want to give. He said I think they want to give students $10,000 They pay to students so they have money under train, education, and pay. And I kind of jumbled a little bit, so I'm sorry if I misread that. Jafia says, I don't blame Deion for taking $5 million over 300,000. However, I don't think he ever had intentions of putting too much time into black colleges. Well, don't you think, in all fairness, though, he put 3 years out of a 4-year contract? And during a 60-minute interview I saw when he first went to Jackson State University, they asked him, they was like, would you entertain another opportunity, to leave if it came? He says, I sure would. He says, yes, I would. So I never saw any interviews where he says, I'm here to stay. Now, maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe I just said, I'm here to stay. I'm never leaving. I saw the interview on 60 Minutes where he's like, yeah, yes, I would entertain a better opportunity. So I think he was kind of clear on that. Darshan says real estate is a good thing to invest in, like poor neighborhoods, like a property, because my cousin, he's doing that. See, that's what I want to do. I want to go into, I guess you call them the poor neighborhoods where the houses need some work, and buy them and upgrade them and rent them out. That's what I would like to do. And of course, if you put money into it, the rent is going to be a little high, but I wouldn't be interested in gouging people because people need a place to stay. And I want, somebody there to pay the mortgage instead of, trying to raise it really high. But yeah, so that's a good idea. Mark says HBCUs leaders are bad business leaders. Yeah, some of them are. You've heard quite a few of them in the news, just, taking the money and not handling business with it. So it's kind of crazy. And let's see here. DDD said all facts. And the solitary one, how you doing? He says it's awesome that he is advancing in his coaching career. I totally agree, because isn't that what it's about, to like advance, evolve, and go do better things? Or do we just kind of want to stay where we're at and never? I mean, some people are cool with that. I'm not saying it's not, but it's like, whatever. Thank you, DDD. I appreciate that. That, of course, is if you're talking to me. And let's see here. Marcus says, did I read that already? He says the more HBCU NFL draft picks create marketing opportunities for HBCUs. I agree with that. And the solitary one, he says, sadly, it's never enough in our community. If he gave millions in 10 years, there still would be complaints. Yep, I agree. There's never enough of more, right? And Darshan, you say, us need to invest and small banks don't have to be big banks, but invest in small banks. I agree with that. And Jordan, how are you? Says JSU thought Deion was going to stay forever like Eddie G. Robinson. Plus, Deion is already up in age, 55 years old, to be starting off in college coaching. Although I did say in the interview where he said he wouldn't be interested in NFL. I think he said he wanted to ultimately go back to his alma mater. And where is that? Somewhere in Florida, what I understand. And Kevin, you say, we don't care about him taking another job. He stole the movement. Deion is Black Klansman. We know what happened to the Black Panthers. So, and I've seen the movie, by the way. So you're basically alluding that Deion Sanders infiltrated the HBCUs on the premise that he was there to help. But in essence, he was not. But so let me ask you this. What movement, if you can define the movement, what movement are you speaking of, if you don't mind me asking? And Marcus says, Coach Prime only entertaining other opportunities because JSU failed to create opportunities for Coach Prime and his assistants. That is true. Darshan says he agrees with Walter. And Darius, he says now he's gone, no more games on TV. Well, hopefully that won't be the case, but they can also get another coach in there and, do just as good a job as he did. And Jordan, also Florida State University, that's where Coach Prime was at. Okay, thank you. Marcus says some HBCUs football coaches are jealous of Coach Prime because they didn't get the opportunity. That's probably true as well. Brother Sammy says Deion saw himself on a mission from God at JSUB, very spiritual. He also saw his move as a new assignment from God. MAGA Juan, the first mission was completed, and I hope I said that right. And Only Pamela's Way says, me too. I want to do the same, Sister Demetra. Kay, we need to have a discussion on that, and I wouldn't be gouging my people either. Yeah, there's no need to do that because people need a place to stay, right? And Tatum says, I saw that tour of Colorado. I want to go now too. Damn, it was amazing. Everyone deserves to get raise and elevation, including us. I totally agree. And Darshan says, invest in the community so we can raise our babies at home, like school, and don't have to be big. It could be small. Yep, we can start off small. And Jafia says, Deion attended Florida State. Okay. And Ed Travels, how are you doing? It says, Deion gave JSU the blueprint. Now it's up to them to move forward. This Deion bashing is disappointing, but expected. Did JSU do anything to keep him? Doesn't sound like they did. It sounds like, some, not all, but some are kind of salty. But no, it doesn't sound like they did anything really to keep him. I saw somebody said they offered him 1.5. So I don't know if that was a year or if that was more. So yeah, it doesn't sound like much. Kevin says it was an HBCU movement before he became coach. It started with Vice President Kamala Harris. Okay, but so you're saying it was a movement, but I'm trying to get a gist for what exactly the movement consisted of, because I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know what you're saying. He hijacked it. So, because from what I understand, HBCUs, not all of them, kind of struggling, are very underfunded. So are we talking about something that is symbolic, or are we talking about something that was actually really functional? And I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but if you can help me understand what that is exactly. Yes, and Kamala Harris did go to Howard University. She showed up there to campaign, and I don't know if she's been back since. And Mark, you say, what movement and what are the 1,000 other HBCUs going to do? And Curtis, how are you doing? Says, it seems that no good deed goes unpunished. I feel for Deion because I have invested in my people and it's never enough. A lot of people just use you and then get offended when you let them go. Yep. And Jordan says his assistants was getting paid under $50K. JSU should be ashamed. Now at Colorado, his assistants will be making his yearly salary he made at JSU, $300,000. Deion was wonderful for JSU. I did hear that they're going to be getting way more money. And James says, mark these words. After Deion is done with Colorado, he will end in the HBCU. That would be interesting. Mark says HBCUs are definitely not getting on primetime television for football because he's gone. Brother Samuel says, should have said now that the mission at JSU was complete. Oh, okay, got you. And George says Kamala hasn't done nothing for HBCUs, not at all. And Darius says all those recruits went stage left. Well, they sounds like some of them went with him. Tisha says sounds like they're trying to say they're trying to be down, but really aren't. Got you. Melanated RN, how are you doing? And Darius says he was talking about leveling the playing field. I think he did a pretty good job of that. Mark says Kamala Harris is VP and she can reach corporate America, but she won't. Nah, it doesn't even sound like she went to Howard when they were dealing with rats, roaches, mold, leaky water. They had to sleep outside on the lawn. And I think they said they was paying like, was it like $30-something thousand a year, maybe more, to go to Howard? I don't know what it was, but it's a lot of money nevertheless. It's expensive to go to HBCUs, by the way. Brother Sammy said he's also proud of the fact that those who have coached with him for over 20 years are about to become millionaires. He's changing lives. Yeah, and people aren't talking about that. And Darshan, you say you're agreeing with Walter, so maybe you're watching the playback. Jafia says Kamala attended school in Canada as an Indian and attended Howard as a Black woman. Texas hard hitter, how you doing? It says Dr. Dre gave $75 million and nobody said anything. So he gave $75 million to USC because his daughter was going there. $75 million, and then they think they donated a music center in his name. So yeah, he gave that to USC. USC already got a lot of money from what I understand, but we did talk about it when it happened. Wayne Black, how you doing? It says Black Lives. In some alternate reality, Deion would have been a fool to stay at JSU. Yeah, I totally agree. And DDD says Colorado is a Nike team. Coach Prime has an Under Armour contract. How will that work? Yeah, I heard people asking, will he bring Under Armour over? Will he switch over to Nike? So I guess they're still trying to figure that out. Darshan says invest in communities is equal knowledge for us, and that's communities is economics. So again, this is the Money Show, or anything else y'all want to talk about, please throw it in the chat. Walter seems like he's, I don't know if he's doing something or if he's kind of waning in energy. Of course, Walter is finishing up his 21-day fast of absolutely no food at all. I think Saturday is when he can eat again, I think.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday, I'm not sure. I may keep it moving. I'm not sure yet. But I mean, I have zero hunger whatsoever. So, I mean, I could do this. I mean, I don't have hunger at all, which is good because now I'm not wasting money on food. I'm not spending all that time making lunch, dinner, all that. I can just get up and keep moving. I think if the average person just fasted 2 days a month, my God, like, and it's so easy to do if you just start. You start with 12 hours, right? You eat at 8 p.m. and you don't eat till 8. It's 12 hours. That's a fast. Like, and I don't know why in the hell you eat between 8 and 8 anyways, unless you're snacking and all that stuff, and that's death to smoochie. And then you go from 8 p.m. to 12 noon. You skip breakfast, which you really shouldn't be eating breakfast anyways, because breakfast is break the fast. What that means is you break your fast. So many of us break our fast with bread, pancakes, chicken and waffles, syrup, like orange juice. Like orange juice is almost as bad as soda. The sugar in orange juice, and you strip the fiber out. So you're just drowning your stuff with sugar and stuff, and you wonder why you ain't gonna live. And then, so in the morning, your body's not supposed to. You're not supposed to eat breakfast because when you wake up, your the furnace is burning, and you have all that energy to burn. But when you eat, the energy goes back and stores into fat, and it says, "Okay, we're gonna stay here and grow because they're gonna keep eating when we don't even need to eat." If I can go 21 days without eating and still be talking, today I did 10 miles. If I can still be doing all that stuff without 20 days of food, what could you do without 1 or 2? Right? It's a game changer. And it's saving you money. Like, damn, like I saved $1,000 on food this month already. That's money going into my investment portfolio. Just imagine if everybody ate once or twice a day, what we could do for the hunger in the United States. Dude on the sidewalk, you throw him a McDonald's Happy Meal, and you just left the steakhouse. Right? So, anyways, I'm not going to get on that. But what I do know is,
let me really quick say, that girl, thank you so much for the donation. Love and appreciate you for that. He says he fought them and had to watch them missing money from ticket sales, all that stress and coaching plus cutting grass. Man, please. Yeah, see, I didn't even know that about the missing money from ticket sales. Now that sucks. If all that was going on, that really sucks. It's like, damn, my God. But thank you once again. So I think Walter too.
Sales. That's what I know what she meant to say. Please. Man, come on now. Oh, Lord have mercy. Black people, when we start holding Black people up front accountable, we will do better. Come on now. Ticket sales, that's cool. But we ain't gonna say nothing. We're gonna keep swinging low. Sweet chariot. Massive. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you idiot. Oh, whatever they whip you and tell you to do. It's like, man, I was watching the election results, and I don't really care at this point for Herschel or Warnock. First of all, I don't know how Warnock was so close to Herschel Walker. I was watching Herschel talk. I was like, damn, I wonder if he believe the shit he's saying. Oh, man. What a crazy world. I would just burn this shit down and start over.
Tisha has a question here. She says, I have a question. My daughter's working. She's only 17, but has a nice chunk of money saved. Where should she invest it at this age? She won't be 18 until July.
How much money does she have? Well, I guess that's not really important, but I'm just, chunk could be 1,000, 10,000, 6,000. It actually does matter how much money she has. Because what I would do, number one, is I would here's what I would do. Let's say I'm 17 and I got $5,000. Okay, cool. What I would do is I would make sure my credit is tight. I would open a self account, right? And I would put money in there. Like Self Inc. will let you put money 25 to 150 a month away. It will be a debt on your credit report, but it will be a debt to yourself. So you pay yourself, and then that money goes to you. And then once you get a certain amount, a few $100, they will give you a line. They will give you a credit card. So now you have 1-2 credit lines. I would go to Citibank, open a secure card, maybe put 1,000 in there, 2,000, and then I would go to Capital One. They have a good secure card. Matter of fact, Capital One's pretty friendly with the card, anyways. And that's something she could do right now. And if she's not old enough, you could open for and put her on as authorized user. And then once she gets 18, then she could do it herself. right? So that's 4 accounts. I would build her credit. I would be opening credit cards. If I can get secured credit cards from this bank, that bank, I'd walk into Wells Fargo, or Wells Fargo and them, or Chase Slave Manhattan, and be like, listen, okay, I saw that, yeah. So I would say, hey, here's $2,000. I want to open a secured line of credit. That's why when she is 18, 19, she has a 700 FICO score, and then she puts on her income that she makes money, whatever she's making. Or, you could just say, you state your income, and you state it the same. Everybody you talk to, you state it the same. And then what you do is say, okay, I have a 700 FICO score. I'm 19, right? I told everybody I made 75 grand. I'm going to go and get me an investment property, right? Oh, I'm 19. I like this. I got the energy to go in the hood and fix this house up, and I'm going to fix it up, and I'm going to rent. I'm going to find a piece of shit. I'm going to buy it low, fix it up, because I got good credit now. And hopefully my mama, Trisha's in the game too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go fix it up. And then when you rent it out, put it on Airbnb, and you fix it up, and then you sell it as a business. Then you sell it, you take that money, and you go get you a couple of little apartment units in the hood, right? Look for Starbucks and the poodles walking by, and you invest in front of that. And then you got a couple buildings, you buy them in the hood, you fix them up, they appreciate, you borrow money from those, and you buy some more, and you let those, you collect the rents on those, collect the rents on these. You understand what I'm saying? Now you got 3 or 4 units, and the chick is 21. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. It's exactly what I'm doing. Exactly what I keep telling everybody, my sister person to the left, everybody to do. If you have good credit, you can go out and do these things. And a lot of these sellers, Trish, are willing to say, hey, take over my property. You just take over the payments, or you make payments to me. I've owned it 30 years, and I bought it for 50, and now it's worth 200. I don't want to pay tax on 150, so I'll let you make payments to me, and I'll carry the note. And you put a little bit down, the interest rate will be stable, and now you own this property, and you have the deed. There's so many ways to go about it. But build credit, stack money, then go out, get you a piece of real estate. Man, there's nothing like owning property. I'll tell you this. I love, and I wasn't always this way, I love owning something, because I know if the world just turned crazy, that I could go, I'll just say everything, the banks, everything just went nuts, right? And I was left with nothing but my properties. I know I could go to my land in Joshua Tree and put an RV on there, and nobody would bother me. So I got my own crib, got my own land, got my own house. It's rolling, my own house. Or I can go to Texas and I can move in that house. Even if I couldn't pay the mortgage, it would take them 6 months to get rid of me. And if the world is collapsing, it would take them 2 years. Remember that in 2008, people in their house 2 years without making a mortgage payment? And then they fixed their credit, and now they're blowing up. I'm not saying don't make the payments. I'm saying if you own property, like if you're paying rent and your rent's due on the 15th and you pay your rent on the 16th or the 21st, you got a problem. Your mortgage is due on the 1st. They give you to the 16th before a late fee, and you have up to the 29th to pay where they don't tell nobody. It's like,
so that's good. Well, there's a question here. And hello, Josie. How are you doing? Pamela wants to know, did you hear that the Central Bank of Switzerland is making moves with their currency?
Mm-hmm. They all are. Absolutely. I watched Bloomberg at midnight. Early in the morning, they're talking about Europe. What Europe is doing. The central banks, they're moving so much stuff over there right now, but you don't know that unless you tuned in. So yeah, you turn on Bloomberg, it's 24 hours a day, and it's China, Europe, it's all the markets are open. The world is, making moves. And, we over here ripping apart Deion. And let me tell you what Deion's doing. Deion's doing, what time is it? It's 4:30. Where he's at back in Colorado is probably 5:30. Deion's probably going to have a nice steak, glass of wine, him and his wife, his family, and they probably plotting out his son's future. While everybody hating on him and coming at him, he's sitting there enjoying his life. And that's something we all could do. Alley Bank is cool. I saw the new Jump the Broom, Brother Man, Sister. Ooh, I saw those commercials Ally putting out. They coming straight for Black people. I got barbecue, chicken, collard greens. You try my sweet potato pie. I try your sweet potato pie. I saw that commercial. I was like, they going, oh, it's Negro Bojangles in the house. But 3% is good. But Black people, let me talk to you for a second. Put money in the bank that you need right now. The other money, put it somewhere. I'll give you an idea, right? I'm open. If somebody wants to get on with me, I'll let you get on. You know what I'm saying? We can split this money. So you don't have a need in 20 days or 18, whatever the number is. Actually, Friday is day 21. So today would be what? 19. So I did my podcast last night, me and Becky. I think you saw some of it. And then so it's like 8:00. And so I'm online, I'm just looking for cars. I'm bored. I said I was out of the car business, but I'm looking. And I see this Volkswagen pop up. They want $1,800. But, you know, because it's a convertible. I'm like, oh, this is a $7,000 car. So I'm like, what the hell am I missing? So I get dressed. I drive out there at 9:00 at night in the freezing cold, put my jacket on, and I go out, test drive this car, minute an hour, scanning it, doing all every top works. Call them today and said, we agreed on $2,500. I got somebody right now that wants that car for $7,000. The point I'm making is there's so many other ways that you could be making money. Even if you only made $1,000 a week with a side hustle or doing something, just imagine what that comes out to. Some of y'all, $1,000 a week would pay all your bills. All of them. $4,000 a month in Texas ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? If you're blowing it, but if you're doing it right, oh man, you could buy a house in your neighborhood, what, for $1,300, $1,400 a month?
No, I think it's a little bit more than that with the interest rate.
It's high. So let's say it's $1,800.
Probably closer to 21, 22.
But you
right
could rent for 15, 16. You know what I'm saying? So,
say it again.
But you can rent for 15, 16. So rent at 15, whatever. The point I'm making is you could do it. You can live comfortably. Just get away from Papa Do's. You know what I'm saying? You could do it. Man, I'm telling you, I was telling my 19-year-old, if I could start again, you big dummy, man, here's what I would do. Damn, there's so many cool things. If you guys have kids, you need to be on them, period. What an amazing world. And thank God for this recession or whatever we're going through. Because it's giving people a chance to go, oh, I might get laid off, so maybe I should come up with my own ideas. Right? Federal debt. I know my son, I think he's invested in I bonds. They're paying like 7 and 9%. My son's a maniac when it comes to interest rates. Like I bonds, inflation bonds were paying 9%. Jesus. That's phenomenal money. And it's backed by the government. And it's short term. You can get in and out in a relative, short amount of time. What is I remember my white friends, one of my friends liking Deion, the slave rebellion, what he was studying. Yeah, I don't know too much about this because I only just heard about the school, what they were doing. So, I'm trying to remember how to read. Use a fighting.
You stupid.
Art of War, that's cool. I understood that. He could definitely put his life in jeopardy. Well, I mean, you always have, as a Black man in this country, the risk of doing too much too fast. But that's why we have the Christian Black woman to bring his ass back to earth. Get on the pulpit and call him a demon. Now, what she should have been calling a demon is all those chicken and waffles she's been consuming to barely get her ass up those stairs. That was the chicken and waffles. Those are the true demons.
But they're so good. That girl, thank you so much again for a donation. Love and appreciate you. Say, Walter, my sister is looking to buy a home, but only has 2 CCDSs with OK credit, credit cards, I think that is. With OK credit, should she wait and do the self loan?
Well, the mortgages go based off of credit and income, period. So, if you have, somebody told me the other day, we could do a 580. I was like, oh Lord. But you could, you get your score in the high 6s, 620, you could buy a house. I think 640 is a decent home loan. You know what I'm saying? You could get, so I'd have to, it depends on what her score is, right? But you always want the more credit lines you can get, the better. So you build your credit and then you don't use them. You keep the limits low, let's say under 30% when you go to buy something. So I would open the self. So because you're going to get 2 accounts with self, the line of credit where you're paying yourself, and then you're going to get the credit, the line of credit. I would do that. I would open a bunch and I would call everybody and be like, hey man, I need you to put me on. I did it to my sister. I said, can you put me on one of your credit cards? Right. I can't remember which one I'm on of yours.
That one got an increase, by the way.
Hey, my usage just went down. So my I call my son, my girl. I call everybody. It's like, hey, put me on your credit cards, and I'll do the same. I'll do it for you, right? And so, you go from, like my son was here. He's like, what's your credit score, Evan? He's like, I think it's like 730, 40. I'm saying, man, you're 19 years old with a 740 FICO score. What do we do next? So put as much as you can on your credit. Plus, you never know. Let's say something happens to your job and you got $50,000 in credit cards. You be like, pull them off. And now you got 50 grand to think for a minute. You're going to have payments, but at least I would rather have 50 grand in my pocket and be paying, $1,000 a month and giving myself a couple months to regroup. You know what I'm saying? Versus like not having nothing at all. You need all the credit you can get. And I check my credit every damn day. I'm always checking my credit. I'm a fanatic about my I go to Experian.com and I get my TransUnion and Equifax. They come together. I get a free trial. Sometimes I'll use it and I'll cancel it before the free trial and I'll come back. Or I'll call to cancel it and somebody from the Philippines will be like, oh, Mr. Walter, I know how you feel, but we will reduce your price from 29 to 19. Cool. Thank you. Bye for now. Click. So you want to build your credit at all costs. I have secondary markets. If I'm correct, I think that's when there are publicly traded companies and then there are secondary markets where you can buy this private stock before it goes public. Like before Uber went public, it was on a secondary market where you could invest in it before it went public. That's all I know about secondary markets. Yeah, the 30-day fast, you guys, I'm telling you, man, let me tell you this. For some of y'all feel me. I was 200 pounds in April, right? So I started eating right, cutting out sugars and breads. Like bread's a killer. If you eat bread, it's death to you. Rice, don't eat rice without vinegar. Instead of rice, I do cauliflower. I mean, there's so many things you could do. I don't do the vegan shit either, where I'm putting my zucchini in fried oils, or I'm eating ice cream because Oreos or vegan and stupid stuff like that. I just started eating healthier. Like, did it come from the ground? Cool. Is it organic? I can eat it. Can I? How many ingredients are on this? If it says carrots and it's like carrots plus, I don't eat that. That was it. Got rid of the preservatives, and I lost. And then I went on this diet with my friend. This program. I lost 30 pounds, and then fasting, I'm down from 176 to 158. I'm almost down 18 pounds, 19 pounds.
And it should also be said too, Walter is fasting because he was diagnosed with cancer a couple of months back. So
yeah, cancer.
Huh?
Yeah, prostate cancer. I mean, I would have known what I've known. I would have done it anyways, but the cancer diagnosis was like, hey, brother, we're going to live or not. So the best way to fight cancer is not to eat because you starve it. And then cancer only lives on sugar. That's all. Glucose, like when you eat, like glutamine, glucose, all that shit, it turns to sugar. So when you eat a piece of bread, it turns to sugar. You eat rice, it turns to sugar. Ice cream, donuts, fried chicken, believe it or not, meats they turn to sugar so your brain can function. So when you eat like fibers with it, the fiber sucks up a lot of that sugar and helps block the conversion of glucose, sugar to your body. There's a lot of things you can learn. So eating the right way, and here's something else I learned. If you're going to eat carbs a lot, eat them last or eat them with vinegar. Like when you go to Europe, they give you bread and vinegar because if you put it together, the vinegar on rice and bread drops the insulin rise and the sugar raise 50%. Even that would save some of you Black people, right? Or if you're going to eat food, there's a food order. You eat your fiber first, right? Vegetables. And then you eat your protein second, then you eat your carbs last. that will greatly reduce your sugar intake. And some of you guys taking insulin on diabetes, which means your diabetes is beating you. You can stop that shit right now. You do a 21-day fast, cut the sugar out, stop eating all the damn time, stop snacking, eat twice a day, eat lunch and dinner. And your insulin's like, oh shit, we're not going to work every day, working overtime. And then you start to heal. Man, I'm 100. I guess I'll be 155 pounds by Saturday. Taking my black ass. I'll come back, put your question back up. I'll take my black ass right to Europe and get me on one of those skinny suits that you see on the mannequin I can never put my big ass in. I'm going to go get me some of those. I like being 158 pounds. Man, people, oh, you look good. I like the way I feel. I can wake up, I have more energy. Shit, man, I don't know what took me so long. Looking like the Buddha. What was the question?
You did answer it. It was about invest in federal debt, yes or no?
Yeah, federal debt is good for short term. I mean, well, if you get 9%, it's good for long term. I don't know how long it's going to stay. I'm telling you, people, act like rich people. F those banks. Keep money in the bank that you need for now and emergencies and short term. And then you go to level 2. Start putting your money in places where you can make money. You got to think like Sam Walton. Think like Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know what I'm saying? This dude made chicken right and made himself and his family worth hundreds of millions of dollars feeding not just black people, white people, they love chicken too, but feeding people chicken. You buy the chicken for a lower cost and you sell it for a higher. What I just explained, these glasses, I think these are Shaq glasses. I'm about to throw these in the trash. But, I mean, they're prescription. Maybe I'll just scratch his name off. That is a sellout. That's a true sellout. Ain't nobody calling Shaq to the carpet. Oh, that idiot showing the movie. This Negro showing it in this theater for at least Kyrie didn't even make money from the movie. Shaq made money from the movie. Anyways, enough for nigga Bojangles. What's the next question? Yes, he was. And all of his kids separately are richer than most rich people in the planet. If you divide the Walton wealth, they are still individually in like the top of the 4.
They said all of the Walton children, their net wealth combined is more than the 99% class in America. So the 99% is worth less than all the Walton's fortune put together. That's how much money they have.
Yeah. So you can duplicate that. You know, Kentucky Fried Chicken, somebody said he stole it from a black man. I don't doubt that. I mean,
he did.
I'm sure. The problem is, but how can we start doing stuff without having it stolen? You know, maybe back then it was tougher. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? So nobody stole CJ. What is it? What's it? Madam CJ Walker. No one stole her shit. It's a lot of people that didn't have their invention stolen. You know why? I mean, I know there was racism and that some of that stuff was bound to happen. But do you think if he took the route of Madam CJ Walker that he'd be in a better position? Right? I love what she did. We don't talk. That's what we should be talking about. Is we should have a school, a class, Madam CJ Walker. What did she do to build this business? That's it. Start that shit. I will talk about that all day. I love that.
She just was, and again, Madam CJ Walker, that's her house behind me. Via Lararo is the name of it. Those are some of the people that worked with her and her family. That's just some of them. You guys know her story, of course. But what she did was she just found a product and duplicated it. And then she got everybody else to help her sell it. Because she was doing it herself. And then she was like, well, there's a lot of other, because they call them washer women, where they would wash the clothes of white people. There was a lot of other washer women. And she was like, well, I could go talk to my homegirls that, wash the clothes of white people. Hey, got this product. I need help selling it. I give you a percentage of it. You go door to door to our people, sell it, and you keep whatever percentage is yours, and then continue to do it. And she was actually credited with being one of the first multi-level marketers. She's one of the first models of that. So you think about multi-level marketing, you think about Avon and Amway and all of those things. You get somebody to help you sell, and then you all get a percentage of it and all that. So she was one of the first people to do it, and do it to that degree. So
that's insane. So that we could do, but the idea was stolen. Can't do nothing about it. But that's why you got to have your stuff in order. That's it. And it all comes down to the money. You put the money first. Man, me and my kids, we get together, we have dinner. The first thing I do is bring up cash. I don't care about all that other shit. I love them, love and affection. I don't care about none of that other shit because it don't matter. Don't nothing move but the money. That's the only thing that matters to me, period. Now, I love my kids and my family. I like to do stuff, spend time with them. That goes without saying, but damn, they can't do shit without money. Nothing. My son's supposed to be over here. My youngest son's supposed to be here today to help me with my studio equipment. He's like, Dad, Mom needs me to go somewhere. I'm like, did your mom go to work today? No. Okay. But, and I'm not going to dig too deep into my personal shit, but like, there's just certain things that you go about. You focus on the money. That's it. Get the money. Everything else. Let me tell you this. Walk with me, people, for a second. Just mentally walk with me. We all sitting there. We all got $1 million in our bank account. We have $1 million. Okay, forget the bank. We have $1 million in real estate, right? We own 20 units. We all have 20 units. We all have 20 people. I like this girl, that girl, this girl, those girls, right? We each have 20 units paying us $1,000 a month. Coming from our 20 unit building, $1 million building, right? $1 million divided by 50,000 by 50,000 each is 20 units. 50,000 is a lot to pay for a unit per unit, but whatever. Let's say you did that. What is a mortgage on $1 million building? You know what I'm saying? Today's prices, $6,000-$7,000. Property tax, let's say you $8,000. Worst case scenario, before rates come back down, to like 3 and 4. So let's say that building is costing you $20,000, $10,000 a month with everything. Your gas to go visit, your valet parking guys that you pay to valet your tenants' cars, and grab their laundry, go do it and bring it back to them. So now you're charging them $1,200 a month because they got valet and laundry service. You know what I'm saying? We do champagne brunches on Sunday. You see what I'm saying? So you do that and you have another 10 units, another $12,000 coming through your door. We all got 10, 12 grand coming through the door every month. What is our life like? What are we doing right now? What are we doing in the morning? I got 10 grand coming through the door and I live in Texas and I only need 4 to survive. It's done. We pop a dose once a week with high blood pressure, but we'll be a pop a dose. And don't get it twisted. I love the food in Texas. That barbecue, like in Austin, Texas, what is it? Terry Black's barbecue? Oh, ain't nothing like it. I miss it. I may go down there just to taste it on one of my sin eating missions. So why are they moving the money? Well, they're getting ready. They're getting ready for collapse. Number one, you hear them. What's the Christina Lagarde? She said there's all talking. They're saying recession is coming. Europe is going through a freeze right now. You understand? It's somebody that was trying to buy a car from me. It's her and her husband from Ukraine. She goes, a lot of my friends and family, they only get electricity 3 hours a day. They get electricity. It is winter in Europe right now. In Germany, Poland, Ukraine, it is 0 degrees in Poland, Germany, and Ukraine right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? So they're getting ready for all that stuff. But the governments, they need to make sure they have money. My question is, why aren't we moving money? I don't mean me, because I'm moving money. I move money every damn day. I move money. I'm always moving money. I wake my black ass up at 5. I watch Bloomberg while I'm stretching, working out, doing what I need to do. And I'm turning on CNBC and I'm like, oh, okay. Something's going on with Facebook. Target, what's going on? I'm watching. I'm like, okay, boom. I'm gonna pull the trigger. That's it. I told all you guys to buy Facebook when they were $90. It went to $120, $125. I sold my shit. I don't know where Facebook is right now. I really don't care. I rode them from 90 to 125 on the stock options. Facebook put $4,000 in my pocket in 2 weeks. Thank you, Mark. I love Mark Zuckerberg. People say, oh, he's the devil. I love the devil. Because versus taking my black ass out and punching the clock or swinging on the pole, Mark Zuckerberg, because he's came up with an idea or stole it. I really don't care at this point, because most of the shit y'all wear and do was stolen from somebody. I'm only concerned about the money. I promise you. My daughter Morgan, she's the youngest. I know when she calls me, she's like, hey, Dad. I'm like, how much is it? And what's up, my man? Deshaun, your earlier comment was right on the money. I don't do brown rice either. Rice is the problem with rice is the way that they cook it now. Rice is rice is a super insulin spiker. Rice has a lot of sugar. If you're gonna eat rice, do it with vinegar or do it with an oil or something, right? And so remember, that's a carb too. So carbs you want to do last. You know, it's beans and rice. Eat the rice last. So yeah, you can do it, man. After day 3, hunger disappears. I have zero hunger right now. And once in a while, like last night, because I have to take salt, so I got a bag of potato chips, and I sucked the salt off each chip. They were truffle chips, so they were kind of high end, a little nicer. But I sucked the salt off every one of those chips, you know, because you need to take some, you know, I'm taking some vitamins D and wheatgrass and lemon, and you have to take in sea salt. So I bought these sea salt chips. Actually, my girlfriend bought them, but these chips, and I sucked the salt off of them. So I do stuff like that, right? So
no, it's never too late. And you're welcome, Quinn. He says, thank you, sis. Learning more about finances is a little late for me right now. I am 64, but I can share this with my grandchildren about financial responsibility. It is never too late.
That the devil is a lie. It's never, as long as you're breathing, it's never too late. Do you realize Sam Walton? I think he started Walmart at 65 years old. Kentucky Fried Chicken. He stole the recipe and started it at, I don't know if he stole it. Maybe he did. I don't know. They steal so much. But 64 is nothing. If you follow me, I don't know who you are. You can find me on Facebook. I'm at As the Money Talks. I'm on Spotify. I'm everywhere. YouTube. You can find me at As the Money Talks. Follow me. Get with me. I'll show you at 64. One, if you get your health in order, then you go from 64 to being biologically 50. You ever seen the person that's 60 that looks 40? Oh, fried rice is the worst. Please do those separately and together. When you fry something, you kill it. Don't fry shit. And rice is a killer. Don't do rice. I tell you what, in my cooking show, I'm doing an episode As the Money Talks, hot in here. We're gonna do a cooking show with Becky, actually her name is Natalie, and one of my neighbors, she's a Filipino. They're both cooks, like they went to school for it. So we're gonna do a recipe next week with cauliflower. So instead of eating rice, grate cauliflower on a grater. Put turmeric, sea salt, pepper. Oh man, you can't. And then if you want to eat meat, so what I do is I'll take like a Wagyu beef or a really fine grass-fed beef, and I'll take it to the butcher, have them grind it, and I'll make a chili out of that with my own tomatoes, sea salt. I don't buy shit in the store. And then I'll pour that on top of the turmeric. Oh, man. Whew. I cannot wait to eat. So Ecclesiastes 10:19, that's what I always say. A feast is made for laughter, wine maketh merry, and money answers all things. Matter of fact, my email that's my email address. So 1019 or something like that at gmail.com. Sister Lotta told me that when I went to go speak at New Jerusalem. Imagine me at the pulpit. I was up there for about 30 minutes and I was like, money and everything. She said, oh, brother, don't lie here. Come in here with that lie. And she quoted 1019. Money answers everything. They talk about money in the Bible more than anything else. But for whatever reason, Negroes, I should stop calling us Negroes. I'm doing that to be derogatory. But we as Black people skip that part. Like, get these Negro dumbasses off the pulpit. Stop listening to these fools. They're not doing shit for you. I follow them to the parking lot. They got a G-Wagon, S500, Ferrari, and you get the store with food stamps and EBT talking about God is good. Not to you, he ain't. If you walking up, your pastor got a Ferrari and you using EBT cards, and then you got your ass in line buying steak and lobster. Like, come on, where is the disconnect? You become the pastor and you do for self. That's one thing I like about the Nation of Islam is they're really big on do for self. My father used to always say, ain't no spook coming down and doing shit for us. We got to do for self. You understand what I'm saying? We do for self, it's a done. So yeah, Bloomberg is on. If you have opened an E-Trade account, which is free, Bloomberg is free on E-Trade. It's free on your smart TV. It's free on your phone. Like, and I know, I'm going to say I know my friends think I'm crazy. Man, the hell with those friends. Cut them loose. Man, I tell you, I have friends and I have friends. I have some friends that just want to party and kick it. And I spend very little time with them. And the friends I have now, we talk about money. And I told one of my friends, hey, man, stop asking me for advice if you're not going to take it. I don't want to, like, if you want to just have drinks with me, then cool. Let's just party. What's that? Partying bullshit with Biggie or whatever, his lyrics. But I don't have friends in my life like that. I don't do shit. I'm watching Bloomberg and you're going to laugh at me? Peace out. Delete. Don't ever call me again, you big dummy. Everything is money. And for money, you can do health. For money, you can pay for help your parents. The only reason I was able to really fight this cancer and stop, I took a month off. I haven't done shit in the last month. I haven't sold a car, maybe one or two. Doing my podcast. I've been on this couch right there. That is my bed. I think I've been in my bedroom 3 times in the last month. Because I had money put to the side, I was able to take off and work on my health. That was it. You could do it. But you got to tell your friends to kick rocks. My boys, they know if we fucking with Walter, we better be ready to talk about money, or I'm going to be sitting in the corner looking like I'm ready to go. I don't care about Tanika and her big old booty from the 8th grade. That's cool. She had a big old booty. But like, what's that got to do, with Facebook stock prices or trying to get this real estate? Yes, open an E-Trade account. Open a non-qualified E-Trade account. Once you put $1,000 in there, they will give you a debit card and they will give you a checkbook. In addition, you open a stock options account and they'll ask you a few questions. Are you familiar with stock options? Yes. Are you familiar with bonds? Yes. You get where I'm going with this. And you open the stock options account.
Let me ask you this, because everybody's asking. I want to be sure I gave the right information as well. You can be found on YouTube at As the Money Talk and on Spotify. As the Money Talks, or if you go to Spotify, I'm there as the Money Talks. It's a microphone, a mic, As the Money Talks with a mic behind it. I'm on Twitter. Thank God. I'm on Twitter. I have an Instagram for As the Money Talks. I'm everywhere at this point. So you can find me or you can find me. I'm on Facebook, WLCoulter. You can go there. It's me and my grandson. He looks like Casper the Ghost, but you can find me there. And then on my Facebook, you can message me my show's brand new too. I've only done 2 episodes. Last night I did a 3rd kind of. Next week, I'm doing 2 stand-up comedian, one, the money in comedy. What really happens in stand-up comedy. Then I'm doing the cooking show, As the Money Talks. It's my Hot in Here edition, hot food, hot topics. We talk about money and hot topics. So we're going to be making a gourmet, healthy, like plant-based. Plant at the bottom and then meat on top. So it's the base. The plant is the base, the foundation. That is what they mean by plant-based meal, you big dummies. It's a plant-based. And what you do on top of that is up to you. Now you're lying to kick it. No, I'm serious. That's what plant-based means. Okay, I know when people say plant-based, they mean plant, but they don't understand. It's the base. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's third base, but I'm going to go stand on it. Now it's no longer just the base. It's me on base. But there's nothing wrong with red meat if you buy it grass-fed and grass-finished, and you make sure that the fat is yellow. The problem is, and don't eat too much. Be like the Asians or eat some. You don't have to eat a whole steak. You can eat meat once in a while. And stay away from chicken. Lord have mercy. Chicken, pound for pound, is worse than red meat. People go, I eat chicken. No, it's worse. Because one, you eat more chicken than steak. When's the last time you saw somebody eat 2 steaks? Just pick up a piece of steak and start chewing. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that. And you don't fry steak.
you fry chicken. So it's worse when you fry something, man, and all those antibiotics just getting all hot in chicken grease. I think that was the end of D'Angelo's career too. But like, man, didn't he sing Chicken Grease? I think that was him.
Yeah.
So no, don't do chicken. I mean, do the
Brother
best.
Samuel, I don't know about all of that. I think Walter, I think he got a little fog brain going on there.
Actually, I don't know what plant-based means. I was just messing with you, but the point I'm making is I mix it up. You know,
Walter,
like
let me ask you about your YouTube because I look for it as well. And JB he says he found you on Spotify and just followed. But your YouTube, I wasn't able to find it either. So is it private or is it public?
you know what? I might have it. I may need to open it. You know, you might be right because
That's what it is because I couldn't find it either. So thank you for bringing that up.
Oh snap! So yeah, it might be. I'm gonna call Becky. I'll see what's up. I thought it was. It might be private. You know, I'm telling you, man, this stuff is all new to me. So, you know, yeah, all my videos are private. I'll open it up.
You got to go to your main page, whatever your settings, and make it public. I also have a podcast on Spotify as well under the Demetra K Show. If y'all want to follow, it's the same content, but you might be in the car or something and just want to listen. You can listen and watch. So I'm there under the Demetra K Show as well. You'll see my picture there. So anyway, we're going to let you all go. Let Walter go lay down and drink some hot water or whatever it is he's going to do for the last couple of days that he's on his fast. Let's see. Quinn, he says, I have a shot of vinegar and olive oil every morning. Okay.
That's really good for you. Vinegar every day is good for you. Olive oil, raw, cold, virgin olive oil.
Cold press.
Really good for you. Raw, not heated. When you heat olive oil, it turns toxic. Eat it raw. And you don't have to eat a bunch of it.
Good stuff. So anyway, y'all, we'll be back here on Sunday with Donovan live, another live conversation. Look for my videos throughout the week. My little short videos about whatever may be going on. I love and appreciate you all. I know, right? Pamela, I was just kidding. Maybe Walter could throw some seasoning salt in that water. I don't know.
Seasoning salt is another killer that is meant to target Black people directly.
Lowry's, some Lowry's.
Oh man, I can feel my blood pressure going up.
So anyway, love and appreciate y'all very much. We will see you all later. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and thank you, that girl, for your donations, and everybody who likes, subscribe, channel members, everybody, everything that you do helps this channel go along. So again, I love and appreciate y'all. I will see you all live on Sunday. You all be good and have a great rest of your evening. Peace.